In this episode of Sensor Studio with Sangsi, we discuss a recent incident in the Red Sea caused by the Houthi rebels of Yemen, which resulted in the sinking of a merchant ship. As a result, 4 crew members lost their lives. The Red Sea is an important trade route internationally, but it's especially important for our country, but now chaos is happening there. Today, let's examine the Houthi rebels' indiscriminate attacks on merchant ships more closely. Before we begin, let's take a look at the area where the Houthi rebels are carrying out indiscriminate attacks. The Houthi rebels are attacking merchant ships in the Red Sea, which is right off the coast. The Red Sea, handling 12% of global shipping traffic, is a crucial region. If we look at just container traffic, about 30% passes through this area, making it a region with a huge number of merchant ships coming and going. Especially when traveling from Korea to Europe, the shortest route is to pass through the Red Sea and then through the Suez Canal. If this route is blocked, the fastest sea route between Europe and Asia is cut off, forcing ships to go around Africa to the Cape of Good Hope. The logistics costs go up significantly, but now, the Houthi rebels in Yemen, who are supported by Iran, are continuing attacks on merchant ships in this area, raising concerns. The Houthi rebels have attacked a total of 2 merchant ships since July 6. Luckily, our nation's merchant vessels remain unharmed. The Magic Seas, a Liberian-flagged cargo ship, and the Eternity Sea, both owned by Greek shipping companies, were attacked. On July 6, the Houthi rebels resumed attacks on merchant ships, the first attack since May 2025. They attacked and sank the Magic Seas, a Liberia-flagged bulk carrier operated by a Greek shipping company. They even released a propaganda video depicting them placing explosives on the Magic Seas and sinking it in one blast. The Houthi rebels claimed they attacked the ship because the operating company continues to visit Israeli ports. Luckily, a passing merchant vessel rescued the ship's 22 crew members. On July 8th, 2 days later, the Houthi rebels filmed and uploaded a video boasting about attacking and sinking the Eternity Sea. The Houthi rebels claimed they attacked and sank a merchant ship, but rescued some crew members, gave them medical aid, and took them to safety. The Eternity Sea was attacked by Houthi rebels in 2 small boats who opened fire and a drone boat with explosives while sailing 94 km west of Yemen's Houthi-controlled Hodeidah port in the Red Sea. They even fired missiles to attack the ship. Out of the 25 people on board the Eternity Sea, 4 died, 6 were rescued, and 15 are missing. The Vietnamese embassy in Yemen said Houthi rebels rescued the surviving crew members, but they actually killed and kidnapped them. The embassy demands their immediate, unconditional safe release. Numerous experts are voicing serious concern about this attack. Previously, the main goal of the Houthi rebels was to seize ships, so they didn't act aggressively. But this time, the situation has changed. The Houthi rebels have launched suicide drones and missiles before, causing significant concern. This is not the first time they have attacked. During the Israel-Hamas war in October 2023, Houthi rebels attacked merchant ships in the Red Sea and Gulf of Aden and claimed support of Hamas. There have been over 100 attacks on cargo ships by the Houthi rebels. In the process, 2 ships were sunk and 1 was seized. In May 2025, the United States and Houthi rebels agreed not to attack merchant ships in the Red Sea. But the Houthi rebels broke that agreement and are attacking again. The United States had ceased airstrikes on Houthi bases in Yemen after an agreement, but since the Houthis broke the deal, the United States no longer has a reason to uphold it. The Houthi rebels have stated that they will continue to attack Israeli-linked ships passing through the Red Sea and nearby waters around Yemen. As per a Reuters report on July 10, Abdul Malik al-Houthi, head of Yemen's Houthi militia, said they will continue banning Israeli-linked ships from navigating the Red Sea, Gulf of Aden, and Arabian Sea. He also said that no company will be allowed to transport goods related to Israel through the designated waters. Consequently, Korean merchant ships are facing serious concerns as the Red Sea, a major trade route for Korea, has become dangerous. There is a risk of being attacked by the Houthi rebels in Yemen if they go through the Red Sea, but going around the African continent would cost too much. So who exactly are these Houthi rebels, and why are they causing such chaos? The Houthi rebels, an armed Zaidi Shia minority group in Yemen, are involved in the country's ongoing civil war. The conflict has been ongoing since 2014, with the Houthi rebels gaining the upper hand in Yemen. They currently control an area equal to the entire territory of pre-unification North Yemen. The Houthi rebels have become the de facto ruling power in Yemen. Their armed status is now practically like that of a regular army. But the Houthi rebels in Yemen are a group supported by Iran, and the missiles currently possessed by the Houthi rebels are weapons backed by Iran. Of course, Iran denies providing military support to the Houthi rebels. It's been revealed that the drones and missiles are Iranian-made, indicating Iran's deep involvement. The recent attack on the merchant ship by Houthi rebels may have been orchestrated by Iran. The Houthi rebels continued their ballistic missile attacks on Israel. In response, Israel launched major airstrikes on key Houthi facilities in Yemen. On July 7th, the Israeli military attacked major facilities and cities such as Hodeidah, Ras Isan, Salif Port, and the Ras Kanati power plant for the first time since the ceasefire with Iran. The Israeli military warned to evacuate the area 30 minutes prior. They then launched an indiscriminate airstrike on the Houthi rebels using 20 fighter jets, including F-16s and over 50 bombs and missiles. Earlier, I mentioned that the Houthi rebels had once seized a merchant ship. But the Houthi rebels modified that merchant ship, installed a radar system on it, and are now using it to track and attack other merchant ships. The Israeli military attacked this merchant ship to suppress the Houthi rebels, who are causing chaos in the Red Sea. Of course, the Houthi rebels didn't just sit back and take it, they fired 2 missiles at Israel. Of course, there wasn't any major damage. However, they are repeatedly launching missile attacks on Tel Aviv and Ben Gurion International Airport, apparently attempting to disrupt the airport's normal operations. Even a single missile heading toward Ben Gurion International Airport can prevent planes from landing. We're seeing both sides attacking each other again, but the most important factor here is the United States. The United States and Houthi rebels had reached an agreement, but tensions are rising as the United States may launch airstrikes against the Houthis again. The United States must intervene due to indiscriminate attacks on merchant ships disrupting the region's logistics system. We must wait to see what decision the United States, which aims to stabilize the Middle East, will make. It appears that stabilizing the situation will take significant time and pain, especially as the issue involves multiple countries and is expected to escalate. On July 8th, a Chinese warship allegedly conducted a laser attack on a German vessel participating in a European Union operation in the Red Sea. Germany was conducting surveillance and reconnaissance against the Houthi rebels in the Red Sea at that time. Germany joined the European Union's Aspides operation in October 2024 to help safeguard international maritime routes. However, China suddenly aimed a laser at the aircraft without prior notification or any reason. Of course, there were no injuries caused by the laser attack, but just aiming a laser at an aircraft can temporarily blind the pilot, so it is something that should never be done. But the Chinese military did that to the German military. As a result, the German military suspended their mission as a precaution and had to safely land the aircraft at the Djibouti base. China announced that this was not true. It definitely seems like an incident that raises tensions near the Red Sea. Houthi rebels are expected to persist in attacking merchant vessels in the Red Sea region. Their attacks are not mere retaliation or provocation, but a strategic approach aimed at deliberately paralyzing the international maritime logistics system. The problem is that these waters are not just a trade route for Middle Eastern countries. Korea conducts significant import and export trade with Europe, the Middle East, and Africa via the Red Sea and Suez Canal, so Houthi rebel attacks could directly impact the Korean economy. The United States and Israel are likely to bolster their military response in this scenario. Following the Eternity Sea incident, Israel resumed airstrikes on Houthi bases in Yemen, and the United States is building justification to do the same. The Houthi rebels have launched missiles at Israeli territory in retaliation for an attack, escalating the situation. This conflict extends beyond just Israel, the United States, and the Houthis. The Houthi rebels are backed by Iran, who appears to believe that escalating regional tensions serves their geopolitical interests. Iran is displaying a common pattern of waging proxy wars via Hamas, Hezbollah, and the Houthis. Recently, China has been engaging in provocative actions in this region, which is particularly noteworthy. The Chinese military fired a laser at a German Air Force reconnaissance plane in a threatening act, seen as a strong warning to Western powers. The Red Sea is becoming a strategic powder keg involving not only Middle Eastern powers, but also China, the United States, and Europe. Considering these factors, tension in the Red Sea and nearby waters will likely increase in the coming months. The risks that the international community must bear are continuing to accumulate. The Korean government also should not treat the situation as just a piece of foreign news. As a country highly dependent on trade, Korea also needs to prepare a diplomatic response strategy. Korea should promptly engage in diplomatic discussions with the United States, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, and other nations to ensure secure maritime routes. Since the instability in this region is likely to turn into a long-term geopolitical risk rather than just a short-term phenomenon, Asian countries including Korea need to take preemptive measures. What are your thoughts on the Houthi rebels attacking merchant ships? Share in the comments below. Thanks for watching.